Welcome to the Emporium Outdoors. Today we're on an overnight ATV camping adventure. So we're camping close to Crow's Nest Pass in the Rocky Mountains in Alberta, and we've just gone for a little bit of a trail ride to test out the ATV. This is a new ATV to me. It's a 2007 Kawasaki 360, which is commonly known as a Prairie or KVF360. So this will be the first time I've actually camped using an ATV. Typically I use a UTV, which gives me a lot more space. But so far we've been making out really well. Esme and I have driven to this nice lake here, which I know is stocked with trout. So the first thing we're going to do today is we're going to do a bit of Tenkara fishing. So I'm going to get my stuff ready and let's get going. Swim. Good girl. Good girl. So if you like this type of content, make sure you're a subscriber because I'll be posting lots more of this in the coming months. You can also check out my back catalogue of camping videos with my UTV and other adventures. Well, that was pretty fun. I didn't catch anything so far, but I have seen a couple of trout cruising around. But it looks like they're a little bit deeper. I was hoping they were going to be surface feeding, but that's not the case. So I think I might come back either earlier in the morning or later towards this evening, where they should be feeding from the surface, and I'll have a much better chance at them. One is. That is one incredibly steep ravine. It's hard to tell on camera, but yeah, that's pretty steep. I would certainly think twice about going down there in my Can-Am. It would do it, but it would increase my heart rate slightly. We made it, Esme. So the little quad has been doing really well. I've been actually quite surprised. It's not as comfortable as my Can-Am side-by-side, my Can-Am Defender, but that's to be expected. I don't have the wheel travel, etc., and the suspension setup. Just a single axle at the back, so a single shock absorber, 2 in the front. But it does really well. Small engine, 360 cc's, and it climbs like a little goat. And it's very easy to pick up and move if I get it stuck. But I'm actually enjoying it more than I thought I would. It's great. I feel very connected to the outdoors, and Esme can see everything that's going on, and you're not enclosed like I was in the Can-Am. Feels more like the Argo that I had, the 6-wheeled Argo. So I'm actually very, very happy with it. It's going to be a warm day. So I'm glad I stumbled across this campsite. I've actually camped here before. I recognized it from some of the trees and the little creek run down the side. I do remember it was extremely windy, which is perfect because I'm testing a new tent out tonight. So that'll be a worthwhile test. So let's start getting set up. Here you go. So tonight we're testing out the OneTigris Stargazer or Skygazer, I can't remember. As usual, I put all the information on the screen for you so you can have a look at the specs, the price, etc. But we're going to give this a go tonight. So I've been using OneTigris tents for many years now, and I've had a very good relationship with the company. I've always found their products to be extremely well made and very durable. I also find their prices quite reasonable. One of the good features about the Northgaze is there's also a mesh inner that you can add to the tent, so you can use it all the way through the summer and buggy conditions. One of the main features that drew me to this particular tent was the ability to open both of the doors and convert it into like a little canopy. When I made my Polish Lavoo tent a few years ago, this is one of the features I incorporated into my own tent design. It's really nice to be able to open up those doors and have full access to the inside of the tent. And in inclement weather, you can still have the doors open but still have the rain shed off. This is one of the drawbacks of teepee tents, is they don't really have a covered vestibule, so if you open the doors, typically the rain can just drop straight inside. The Northgaze is also fitted with the stove jack, and it also has full snow skirts, making this a true 4-season winter camping tent. So there's a couple of ways you can actually put this tent up. You can put it up obviously just as a regular teepee. You can put it up like I have it at the moment with the other panels actually rolled up. but they can also be rolled down and staked out as well, and I'll show you what that looks like just on one side. There you go. So if you had some rain you wanted to deflect off the side of the porch area, that would work perfectly. I prefer it with just the single, I think, at the moment. So time to get my stuff inside, get Esme settled down, and maybe even have a bite to eat. Okay, so we're almost set up. Got a nice cold beverage. Just got to blow up the air mattress. I didn't bring a cot or anything this time. I was trying to load out the ATV for a fall, early winter camp, and I was a little bit tight on space, brought way too much stuff. If I was coming out knowing the temperatures, I would have just hammocked, and I could have used just one of those bags in the quad. So I brought out a few luxury items, but I'm glad I did. Like with all ATV or UTV camping, the biggest problem is not the weight, it's the bulk. So if you can get very compact items, then it makes life so much easier. I could have put my cot, strapped it across the box, I suppose, but I can live without a cot for a night. So I'll show you what we have set up for tonight. Fortunately, I can't use the hot stove because of the fire ban, but it was the Dan Shell fast fold stove I was going to use. It's going to be perfect for this tent, great fit. So I do have the shelter up, and I'm actually thinking about parking the quad in here, having the front open. That might be quite nice, because then I can look up at the stars. I've got my Helikon-Tex Swagman roll, that's for Esme. Got my Helinox Chair 1, which is comfortable, and my Climate insulated Luxe mat, which is by far my favourite mat. I've just got an insulated blanket underneath, and my sleeping bag, or actually it's just a top cover, top quilt, is my enlightened equipment. It's a -6 Celsius, and that'll do nicely. I've got a little pillow to put in there, but that's it. That's all I got. Still have like tons of stuff in my quad boxes from my flip-flops. So I've got in here my stove, fishing rod, my knife, camera equipment. Actually, this can go in this one. This is mainly fishing and camping equipment. This is where my sleeping bag was, and this is all my food. I have a nice steak. I have a nice beer from Dan. I'll put his details up. Dan actually gave me some really nice gifts. One of them was beer, and the other one was this fantastic little frying pan I'm going to use later on to cook my steak. So this is very lightweight, but it acts like cast iron. So he had quite a few of these, so that's going to be awesome. He also gave me some spices, which, should I put them? Oops, my off. I'll find them later. So if you want to check out Dan's site, I'll put his name across the bottom because I can't even pronounce it. But he's a very good outdoorsman and a woodsman, and he makes some really interesting content, and he has an Argo with tracks. So his winter videos are how I got into watching his channel. So I think he's at somewhere like 300 subscribers. So it would be really fantastic if you go over there and subscribe and maybe give him a bit of a boost, because that really encourages people to make more videos. So that would be a really nice thing to do. Okay, time for food, Esme? You hungry? There you go, it's fresh stream water. Well, good morning. We had a very quiet night. I did wake up with a sore throat, so I'm not sure what that's about. But it was very comfortable on the sleeping pad, and Esme's been up for a while now, and she's waiting for her breakfast. She's actually eating grass now just to emphasize the point that she's hungry. So that's going to be our next job. But yeah, nice and warm in the enlightened equipment. And I think the sun's coming up. So let's get Esme fed before she kills me. So it looks like it went down to freezing last night. Esme's bowl's frozen. And we did have a little bit of frost on the tent. So it would have been nice to have that stove. But it worked out good actually with the quad under the awning. So a bit of a shorter video than normal. I had to cut out some of the footage for the evening time because the light wasn't very good and it was very grainy, so you did miss out on that part of the video. Hopefully you've enjoyed as much as I did returning to UTV and ATV camping. It really is a great way to explore the great outdoors and to see nature. It was unfortunate we couldn't use the stove in the tent last night because of the fire ban, which is unfortunate. I think that would have been a lot of fun. I enjoy keeping the fire going, something to do in the evenings. But winter's almost upon us, so we'll be heading out for more hot tent camping in the coming months, and my camping schedule actually starts to ramp up when the temperature starts to drop. I'm delighted that Esme likes the quad and she's not afraid of it, and her riding at the back behind me I feel is actually quite safe. She's kind of blocked in and she can't go anywhere, but she does get the full experience of riding on the back and feeling the wind in her fur. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. And until next time, take care. And as always, thank you very much for watching. If you like my videos, leave me a comment, maybe a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe.